In this video, we create a place of remembrance, honoring those who've recently left us and reflecting on the lasting influence they gave the world. Alongside these tributes, we also celebrate the legendary career of Roman Reigns, whose unmatched legacy continues to inspire wrestling fans everywhere. Subscribe today and be part of a community that treasures these unforgettable stories. Terry Funk, born Terrence Funk on June 30th, 1944, in Hammond, Indiana, was a wrestling icon whose career spanned more than 5 decades. Growing up in a wrestling family with his father Dory Funk Sr. as a promoter and wrestler, and his brother Dory Funk Jr. as a fellow legend, Terry was destined for the ring. He made his debut in 1965 in his father's promotion, quickly earning a reputation for his toughness, skill, and fearlessness. Funk reached the pinnacle of his career in 1975 when he captured the NWA World Heavyweight Championship by defeating Jack Briscoe. Known for his versatility, he could excel in technical bouts, brawls, or even high-flying matches, proving he was a master of all styles. But Terry Funk's influence didn't stop there. In the 1980s and 1990s, he became a pioneer of hardcore wrestling, thrilling fans with brutal, boundary-pushing matches that involved weapons, fire, and extreme stunts. His work in promotions like All Japan Pro Wrestling, ECW, WCW, and WWF helped bring hardcore wrestling into the spotlight, and his legendary feuds, especially with Ric Flair, remain defining moments in the sport. Outside the ring, Funk's charisma and cowboy persona made him beloved by fans. He even crossed into Hollywood, appearing in films like Roadhouse and Over the Top, showing his larger-than-life presence wasn't limited to wrestling. Terry Funk's contributions were widely recognized, culminating in his WWE Hall of Fame induction in 2009. More than his championships or accolades, Funk's relentless passion, fearlessness, and love for the craft left an enduring mark on professional wrestling. He passed away at 79, but his spirit, influence, and unforgettable moments in the ring will continue to inspire generations of wrestlers and fans alike. Melissa Coates, born on June 18, 1971, was a dynamic athlete and entertainer whose presence left a lasting mark on the world of professional wrestling. Known to fans as Thunder Kitty, Coates combined strength, agility, and charisma in a way that made her stand out both inside and outside the ring. Her journey began as a bodybuilder, where she earned several championships, showcasing her dedication, discipline, and drive. These same qualities would later define her wrestling career. Transitioning into professional wrestling, Coates made her mark in WWE and across various independent circuits. She embraced multiple wrestling styles, including the physically demanding hardcore matches, and her performances were always infused with energy and showmanship. Beyond her in-ring abilities, Coates had a natural ability to connect with fans, drawing them into her storylines and making each appearance memorable. She was also a passionate advocate for women in sports, using her platform to inspire and encourage others to break barriers in what was often a male-dominated industry. Off the mat, Melissa was open about her struggles with mental health, advocating for awareness and the importance of seeking help. Her honesty and compassion resonated with many, further cementing her legacy as more than just an athlete. Tragically, Melissa Coates passed away at the age of 50, leaving a void in the wrestling community. Yet her impact endures. Her vibrant spirit, dedication, and advocacy continue to inspire aspiring wrestlers, particularly women aiming to make their mark. Melissa's life reminds fans and fellow athletes alike that talent, passion, and courage can leave an unforgettable legacy, both in sports and in the hearts of those who admired her. James Harris, better known to the wrestling world as Kamala, was born on May 28, 1950, in Senatobia, Mississippi. He became one of professional wrestling's most unforgettable characters, captivating fans with his imposing presence and unique persona. Rising to fame during the 1980s and 1990s, particularly in the World Wrestling Federation, WWF, now WWE, Kamala was portrayed as a fearsome Ugandan giant, a tribal warrior brought to life with striking face paint, a loincloth, and a distinctive mask. Harris made his wrestling debut in the early 1970s and quickly carved out a place for himself in the sport. Over the years, he worked in major promotions such as the AWA and WCW, earning a reputation for his raw power and distinctive in-ring style. Despite his size, he could move with surprising agility, delighting fans with his signature Kamala splash, a high-impact diving maneuver that often turned the tide of his matches. Throughout his career, Kamala squared off against some of wrestling's biggest stars, including Hulk Hogan and The Undertaker. His feuds and matches were memorable, not just for the action in the ring, but for the larger-than-life energy he brought every time he stepped onto it. Audiences were drawn to his intensity, and he became a beloved figure for his ability to make every encounter feel larger than life. Beyond his in-ring achievements, Kamala's impact resonates as a trailblazer for African-American wrestlers, breaking barriers and leaving a lasting impression on the industry. Sadly, James Harris passed away at the age of 70 due to complications from diabetes. Yet his legacy endures, remembered fondly by fans and peers alike. Kamala will always be celebrated as one of wrestling's most iconic and unforgettable figures. Bob Armstrong, born on October 3, 1939, was a beloved figure in professional wrestling, admired for both his charisma and in-ring talent. Starting his journey in the 1960s, Armstrong wrestled across various regional promotions, quickly earning a reputation for his athleticism, toughness, and ability to connect with fans. His matches were intense, hard-hitting, and often memorable, making him a favorite in promotions like the National Wrestling Alliance, NWA, and later World Championship Wrestling, WCW. Over the decades, Armstrong amassed an impressive list of championships, including the NWA Southern Heavyweight Championship and multiple NWA Tag Team titles. He engaged in iconic rivalries with some of wrestling's biggest names, showcasing a style that blended technical skill with raw determination. Fans and peers alike respected him for his professionalism and his dedication to the craft. Beyond the spotlight, Armstrong was a devoted family man. He instilled a love of wrestling, strong work ethic, and sense of discipline in his children, several of whom followed in his footsteps into the wrestling world. His mentorship extended beyond his family as well. Many younger wrestlers benefited from his guidance, learning not just how to perform in the ring, but how to respect the business. Armstrong's contributions were formally recognized through inductions into multiple wrestling halls of fame, a testament to the lasting impact he had on the sport. He passed away at the age of 80, leaving behind a legacy of passion, dedication, and unforgettable moments in professional wrestling. Remembered as much for his larger-than-life personality as for his in-ring skill, Bob Armstrong remains a true icon, a wrestler whose influence and spirit continue to inspire generations of fans and performers alike. Tim White, born on March 25, 1954, was a beloved figure in professional wrestling, remembered for his work both inside the ring as a referee and behind the scenes as a producer. White passed away at the age of 68, leaving behind a legacy of dedication, professionalism, and genuine care for those around him. White began his journey in the wrestling world in the 1970s, quickly earning a reputation for his fairness and attention to detail. In the World Wrestling Federation, WWF, now WWE, he became a familiar and trusted presence, officiating some of the most memorable matches of the era. His calm, steady demeanor and deep understanding of the sport allowed him to navigate high-pressure moments with grace, earning respect from wrestlers and fans alike. But White's contributions went far beyond the referee's apron. Behind the curtain, he played a vital role in shaping storylines and mentoring younger talent. His guidance helped nurture new wrestlers, and his experience made him an invaluable part of the creative team. Many in the industry looked to him not just as a professional, but as a mentor and friend. One of the most touching aspects of his career was his close friendship with the late Andre the Giant. Their bond was well known and added a human touch to the stories unfolding on screen, reminding fans of the friendships that thrive beyond the spotlight. Tim White's passing was deeply felt across the wrestling community. He will be remembered not only for his skill and contributions to the sport, but for his kindness, integrity, and the positive influence he had on everyone he worked with. White's legacy lives on, inspiring future generations of wrestlers, referees, and fans alike. He was in every sense a true professional and a remarkable human being. Liati Joseph Anoa'i, widely recognized by millions as Roman Reigns, was born on May 25, 1985, in Pensacola, Florida, into one of wrestling's most storied families, the Anoa'i dynasty. From a young age, Roman was surrounded by legends: The Rock, Yokozuna, Rikishi, and the Usos, all of whom left an indelible mark on the wrestling world and on Roman himself. For him, wrestling was never simply a career choice. It was a legacy woven into his very identity, a calling that seemed destined from birth. Yet, like many who grow up in storied families, Roman initially sought to carve his own path, focusing on football rather than wrestling. At Pensacola Catholic High School, he quickly made a name for himself as a talented and disciplined defensive tackle, a trajectory that carried him to Georgia Tech, where he continued to refine his skills and excel on the gridiron. His journey even took him briefly to professional football, with stints in the NFL and CFL, but the physical toll of the sport, combined with injuries and other setbacks, ultimately diverted his path toward professional wrestling, a decision that allowed him to honor his family heritage while building a career entirely his own. This transition was not merely a shift in sports, but a rebirth of purpose, allowing Roman to blend athletic skill, performance, and leadership into a singular persona that would eventually dominate the global wrestling scene. From developmental talent to main roster star, Roman's entrance into WWE came in 2010 when he signed with the company and began training in their developmental territory, Florida Championship Wrestling, FCW, performing under the ring name Leaky. Like any young talent, his early days were filled with learning curves as he absorbed the nuances of professional wrestling, from in-ring psychology to promo work and audience connection. His size, presence, and natural athleticism made him stand out even among talented peers, and his perseverance quickly became evident. The breakthrough moment arrived in 2012 when Roman debuted on WWE's main roster as part of The Shield, alongside Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose. The group's revolutionary style and disciplined dominance captured the imagination of fans worldwide. Roman's explosive power, signature spear, and relentless drive made him an instant standout. And as The Shield disbanded, WWE recognized his potential to lead as a top star. Over the years, he evolved from the early big dog persona into the tribal chief, a character that embraced his heritage, authority, and in-ring mastery. With Paul Heyman as his advocate, Roman transformed into one of the most compelling figures in modern wrestling, blending charisma, strategy, and dominance into every storyline and match, cementing his reputation not just as a champion, but as a living embodiment of his family's legacy. The Tribal Chief era and dominance redefined Roman's evolution into the Tribal Chief, marked a period of unprecedented dominance in WWE. His reign as undisputed Universal Champion became synonymous with excellence, endurance, and storytelling. What was once a polarizing figure, the hand-picked son of a wrestling dynasty, transformed into a character whose authority demanded respect and reverence. Roman's feuds with top stars such as Brock Lesnar, Cody Rhodes, John Cena, and countless others showcased not just his in-ring skill, but also his capacity to carry storylines that were both compelling and emotionally resonant. Under the Tribal Chief persona, Roman fused personal heritage with professional ambition, creating an aura that elevated him beyond a conventional championship role. His presence extended outside the ring as well, with media appearances, charity work, and acting ventures highlighting his versatility and commitment. Yet beneath the success and accolades, Roman's journey was not without struggle. Behind the veneer of dominance lay health battles, injuries, and the constant weight of expectation that have continually shaped both his personal and professional life. Leukemia and the battle that shook the world. In 2018, Roman shocked fans worldwide when he publicly relinquished the WWE Universal Championship due to a resurgence of leukemia, a disease first diagnosed in 2007 during his early football career. The announcement revealed a side of Roman seldom seen: vulnerable, human, and facing one of life's most serious challenges. The wrestling community watched with a mixture of concern and admiration as Roman confronted a battle that extended far beyond the ring. His decision to step away, though difficult, underscored his maturity, courage, and prioritization of health and family over professional accolades. Months later, following successful treatment, Roman made a triumphant return to WWE, a comeback that remains one of the most inspiring in sports entertainment history. Even so, the shadow of leukemia has remained a quiet concern, requiring ongoing vigilance, medical checkups, and lifestyle adjustments to ensure his long-term well-being. Roman's openness about this journey has deepened the respect fans hold for him, showing that strength is not just about physical dominance, but also about confronting life's most personal battles with honesty and resilience. Physical strain and wrestling's toll on the body beyond his leukemia battle, Roman has endured the physical realities of professional wrestling, a career renowned for its intense demands and cumulative injuries. Over the years, he has contended with knee problems, shoulder discomfort, back strain, and hip pain, all consequences of executing high-impact moves night after night in front of live audiences. Recently, rumors of a backstage accident during a live event circulated, where Roman reportedly experienced a minor concussion or awkward landing. While WWE officially downplayed the severity, insiders suggested the incident may have aggravated existing back and hip issues. Roman's absence from certain live events and his selective match appearances fueled speculation that even the most dominant superstar is vulnerable to the wear and tear of decades of athletic performance. Observers noted his cautious approach in the ring following the incident, avoiding moves that could strain previously affected areas. Such moments highlight the reality that even the strongest and most celebrated performers face ongoing battles with their bodies, necessitating careful management and adaptation to sustain their careers and longevity. Financial pressures and the athlete's burden. Alongside physical and health concerns, speculation has circulated regarding Roman's financial pressures. As one of WWE's top earners, he carries the weight of lucrative contracts, endorsements, and outside ventures, alongside personal responsibilities and the maintenance of his public profile. While Roman's finances are not publicly documented in detail, the perception of wealth often invites scrutiny, and rumors about balancing earnings with lifestyle and family obligations have emerged over time. Though there is no confirmed evidence of financial instability, the reality of managing significant earnings, planning for future security, and ensuring his family's welfare undoubtedly adds a layer of responsibility beyond the wrestling ring. Like many elite athletes, Roman navigates the delicate balance between career earnings, personal investments, and the public perception of wealth, all while under the constant eye of fans and media. Family priorities and life beyond wrestling. Roman's family has consistently been his anchor, particularly his wife, Galina Becker, and their children. He has spoken candidly about prioritizing family over career at critical junctures, such as during the COVID-19 pandemic, when he temporarily stepped back from WWE programming to protect his health and that of his loved ones. This decision emphasized his role not just as a performer, but as a husband and father, showing fans that even the most dominant superstars have responsibilities that transcend their professional identity. Balancing high-stakes performance with family life has required adjustments to his schedule, selective participation in events, and a constant awareness of the physical and emotional toll his career imposes. Roman's commitment to family illustrates a dimension of his character that complements his on-screen persona, presenting a holistic picture of a man who must reconcile personal obligations with professional excellence. The psychological weight of being WWE's cornerstone. Being the centerpiece of WWE brings not only fame and acclaim, but also immense psychological responsibility. Roman's position as the company's face means that storylines, viewer engagement, and financial success often rest heavily on his shoulders. This psychological burden is compounded by past health battles, lingering injuries, and the continuous demand to perform at peak levels. Interviews and public statements hint at the mental toll of maintaining such prominence, acknowledging the pressure to deliver both in character and in physical performance. Fans may witness the triumphant victories and commanding presence, but behind the scenes, Roman navigates the constant balancing act of professional expectation, personal well-being, and family life. His resilience in maintaining composure and continuing to lead at the highest level is a testament to his fortitude and dedication. Recent developments and ongoing concerns. Recent reports indicate that Roman continues to manage nagging back and hip issues, likely a consequence of decades of physical exertion. WWE appears to have adjusted his schedule, limiting appearances to major pay-per-view events and key storylines, which may be part of a broader strategy to preserve his longevity and prevent further injury. Observers have noted subtle changes in his in-ring performance, including a slightly more cautious approach during high-impact maneuvers, reflecting an awareness of his body's limits. While WWE has framed these adjustments as standard workload management, longtime fans recognize the careful balancing act required to sustain a career of this magnitude. These considerations, coupled with previous health concerns, have fueled ongoing speculation about whether Roman will eventually transition into a lighter, part-time schedule similar to other wrestling legends or continue to maintain his position as WWE's cornerstone indefinitely. Legacy, leadership, and the road ahead Roman Reigns' story is not solely defined by championships, streaks, or accolades. It is defined by perseverance, adaptability, and personal integrity. From a young football hopeful to the tribal chief, he has overcome leukemia, contended with serious injuries, navigated the pressures of being the company's leading figure, and maintained his role as a devoted husband and father. Each challenge has added layers to his character, enriching both his in-ring storytelling and his personal narrative. At 40 years old, Roman stands at a pivotal point in his career, where decisions regarding schedule, health management, and future roles will shape not only his personal trajectory, but also the direction of WWE. Fans continue to hope that he can balance health, family, and career in a way that preserves both his well-being and his enduring legacy. Conclusion: the human behind the myth Roman Reigns embodies a rare combination of athletic prowess, storytelling ability, resilience, and human vulnerability. His reign as the tribal chief, the battles with leukemia, the injuries, and the unseen pressures of maintaining superstar status all contribute to a story that is both extraordinary and profoundly relatable. He demonstrates that true strength is not simply about physical dominance, but also about facing adversity, embracing responsibility, and making choices that prioritize health, family, and long-term sustainability. For fans, Roman is more than a champion. He is an example of perseverance and leadership under pressure, a figure who has transformed setbacks into sources of inspiration. As he continues his journey, Roman Reigns' legacy is secure, not only as one of wrestling's most dominant figures, but as a living example of courage, resilience, and dedication, reminding the world that even in the spotlight, the human story remains at the heart of greatness.